Civilization or Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop. Bordes thinks that the truly indigenous industry of Europe in Upper Paleolithic Age is the ancient Perigordian, characterized by the so-called Châtel-Perron point. It derived from the evolved Maastrichtian period and Acheulean type B tradition immediately anterior to Verm II. Thus, it probably dated from the end of Verm II, 3 interglacial period. This industry is mainly known from the excavations conducted by André Leroy-Gorin and Bordes himself. Bordes notes that this industry is interstratified with that of the Aurignacian period at least two sites, Piaget and Roc de Combe. What can this mean other than that it is difficult to distinguish between these two industries, which were originally considered to be but two facets of the Aurignacian, as previously mentioned? It is as delicate a task to separate Perigordian industry into a category of its own as it is to establish its anteriority in relation to the Aurignacian. Has Bordes just told us that the tools of the Aurignacian period are found in the Kina type of the Maastrichtian period, which were dated, as we've seen, at 35,000 BP, if not earlier? No absolute chronological dating method has as yet permitted us to establish in a precise manner this Perigordian anteriority, if it really is distinct from the Aurignacian, which has several facets, one of which might be the Perigordian one, as stated earlier, and which extends incomparably beyond the Perigordian, as we shall see. Movius is of this opinion when he writes with great politeness the following C14 dates relative to the layers of Perigordian one in France suggest that this industry probably was, in part at least, contemporaneous with the Aurignacian period of the Patald shelter and other places. The anthropological identity of this hypothetical indigenous European, situated somewhere between the final Maastrichtian and the Aurignacian periods, and probably responsible for the Perigordian one, is even more mysterious and constitutes a quasi insolvable problem of prehistoric archaeology. Indeed, de Sonneville Bordes notes that since the all too discovery of the rock of Combe Capelle Man 1909, the Dordogne region of southwest France was has unfortunately not yielded any human remains that could be attributed to the lower Perigordian period, and at the present time one is reduced to conjecture about who was responsible for that industry. As we have already said, the Grimaldi Negroid was responsible for Aurignacian industry, having obviously been an invader, as Bordes himself acknowledges. One is tempted to associate Perigordian one industry with the man of the rock Combe Capelle, who would then be truly indigenous of Europe, representing the autochthonous race of Europe, a race that might have been born and developed on the spot from the pre-sapiens independently of any foreign source, especially of the Grimaldi African Negroid between the Middle and Upper Paleolithic periods. Hence, as the foregoing shows, this is only pure, gratuitous, ideological speculation unsupported by the least prehistoric archaeological fact. To say that Combe Capel man is a Europoid is to overlook his deep morphological affinities with the Grimaldi Negroid, particularly his subnasal prognathium. Those who seek to classify him in a Cro-Magnon series are obliged to postulate an extreme variability of this type, in other words, to modify the criteria to the point where they no longer characterize anything at all. The description by Boulay and Valois is rather edifying and shows that we are indeed in the presence of a characteristically Negroid type. I will stop there. I'm Uriel Riley. This is Civilization or Barbarism. We will continue back.